Welcome to episode 34 of Discovering Nagasaki from a Local. My name is Chad. In my ongoing weekly vlogs, you can experience everyday life in this scenic and fascinating part of Japan. This week only Denise Rollheiser and Daniel Hazen were able to correctly answer both of last week's vlog questions. Thank you for answering my challenging questions. The first question from last week was, what is the brand name of the blue mixer used in last week's baking demo? The answer is KitchenAid. The second question from last week was, what were the toboggans in Kantoku Museum used for? The answer is fishing for mudskippers. During the past week, two types of flowers started blooming in Omura. White magnolia, or mokuren flowers, appeared in several different places around town. Also, several different types of camellia, or tsubaki flowers, started blooming here. The name of these camellia flowers are sazanka, or sazanka in Japanese. The kanji for tsubaki contains the particles tree and spring. And now for this week's crash course in kanji root particles. Group U kanji root particles include behind, prism, measure, door, enlarge, and storehouse. I will cover Group V kanji root particles next week. Anyone who has an interest in Japanese food, fine arts, or martial arts will benefit from a basic knowledge of kanji. Please support this vlog channel by clicking on the subscribe button below, ringing the adjacent bell for update notifications, and clicking the thumbs up button. In today's vlog, I will show you how I planted my spring crop of seedlings for the garden. I will also give you a short tour of a famous hot spring town in Shimabara, Obama. Let's get started. I'm now standing near the garden at the back of our house. Although we had frost this morning in Suzuta Valley, the recent spring temperatures have created a lot of growth in our vegetable patch. We have about 15 different kinds of vegetables in our garden right now, but today I need to prepare a lot of spring seedlings for the months ahead. There is still a lot of weeding to do here, but these vegetables are large and healthy enough to thrive without it. As I pan to the left, you can see that I have already prepared 35 trays worth of seedling pots on this concrete retaining wall. Each tray has at least 35 pots, and each pot is more than half full of potting soil. Today I will plant about 1,200 seedling pots with 18 different types of vegetables. On the far left are some of the seeds that I will plant directly into the garden next month. We have carrots, red perilla, spinach, parsley, sunflower, spring daikon, and green perilla. In a few moments I will plant the seeds on the right in the seedling pots, including asparagus, Swiss chard, brown spring beans, bell peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, arugula, eggplants, yellow mini tomatoes, red mini tomatoes, soybeans, white string beans, and from last year's crop, okra, winter squash, beets, paprika, and lots of pumpkins. To prevent confusion later on, I will use these plastic markers to identify the vegetables in each tray. The first tray will have pumpkin seedlings in it. It took me about 90 minutes to do, but I've managed to plant about 3 seeds in most of the pots on this wall. In the first 8 trays, I've planted pumpkin seeds. This year I will be planting most of these pumpkin seedlings on a farm that is about 2 kilometers from here. Here are 3 trays of togan that I will also be planting with the pumpkins. Further on, I have 2 trays of okra. These seeds are easy to handle but more difficult to see. Then I have 2 trays of brown string beans. And 2 trays of white string beans. They're much easier to see. Next I have 2 trays of soybeans, and after that 2 trays of beets. I also have 2 trays of cucumbers. And less than 1 tray of zucchini. Not many seeds here. I've also planted 2 rows of arugula in this tray. Although the seeds are too small to see, I have 1 tray of red mini tomatoes and 1 partial tray of yellow mini tomatoes. I planted 2 rows of arugula with the latter. Continuing on, I have 2 trays of eggplants and then 2 trays of asparagus. These seeds are difficult to see. Next I have 1 tray of paprika and 1 tray of bell peppers. These seeds are easy to spot. The Swiss chard seeds are purple and also easy to spot. There's only 1 tray of these. Finally, there are 2 trays of very small parsley seeds. That makes 35 trays worth of seedlings. I've already filled each pot with potting soil and covered the seeds below. For the next 6 weeks or so, I have to water these seedlings every day to make sure that I haven't wasted my time. I planted more seeds than I need because some seeds won't germinate. In about 2 weeks I will have to remove the slugs that live in this soil every evening to prevent them from eating their favorite seedlings, namely the cucumbers, okra, and zucchini. I'm now standing beside the main road here in Obama, Route 251. Obama has a population of about 9,000 people, and it is located on the west coast of Shimabara Peninsula. Along this road there are many shops, onsens, and restaurants. 16 years ago, in 2005, Obama merged with 6 other towns in the southern Takaki district to create the city of Onsen. This town is located at the foot of Mount Onsen, and this area is famous for its volcanic hot springs. Obama is recognized as having the hottest and most active hot springs in Japan, with some of them reaching 80 to 100 degrees Celsius and producing over 15,000 tons of hot water daily. The poet Saito Mokiji wrote about Obama Onsen in his poem Sunset Plaza, Yuhi no Hiroba, and a monument with the words of his poem was erected near the onsen. This harbor in Obama has a large parking lot, foot onsens for visitors to warm up their feet, and a wide pathway along the sea. On the other side of the parking lot, you can see several tourists gathered in front of this Hot Foot 105 tourist center. This center rents towels and sells souvenirs to the public. Many people are here today enjoying the warm weather and the great scenery. Behind this concrete barrier wall are hundreds of massive concrete tetrapods. They are used to hold back the sea and protect the coastline. This is a great place to view the sea and take a long stroll along this brick boulevard. The kanji for Obama means small beach in English. At the top of these steps you can see many people with their feet in the salty circulating onsen water. There used to be a face-in-the-hole board at this location for tourists to take photos with a caricature of the former American President Barack Obama. However, it's no longer here. Obama is about an hour's drive from the water where I live, but it's well worth the trip. Along this seawall you can see various plumes of steam rising into the air year-round. This steam occurs when the extremely hot volcanic spring water makes contact with the seawater. There is little or no wind today and the sea is very placid. This concrete path leads to the foot onsens 80 meters in the distance. Here's another view of the tetrapods and the mountainous coastline along the west side of this peninsula. On the other side of Route 251 there is a narrow back road with many onsen shops and restaurants. Next to this post office and at the top of these stairs is a small local museum. It's an interesting road to wander down. Now I'm right next to a ryokan onsen that I stayed at many years ago. You'll notice that its parking lot on my left is completely empty. This is the Uruisuya ryokan, or Japanese Nightingale Inn. Due to the pandemic, very few people these days are frequenting spas like this one here in Japan. The lights are on, but no one's home. This is the entrance road to the ryokan where cars and tour buses normally drop off their passengers. I'll head down this road toward Route 251, which is at the bottom of this ramp. On my left is Route 57, which leads to Jigoku Park, the place I showed you in episode 30. I'll cross Route 251 here and show you two other points of interest in Obama. Next to the vehicle entrance to this parking lot is a place where the boiling spa water empties into the sea. It's a dramatic display of the power of nature. There's a lot to see here in Obama, and you don't even need to walk very far from this parking lot to discover it. And now for this week's challenging questions. First, which pots had only one seed in them? Second, which two roads border the Uguisuya ryokan? Be the first to correctly answer both of these questions in the comments section below. I will announce the first 3 people who do so at the beginning of episode 35. You can find a complete list of the contents of my vlog episodes on the Facebook link listed below, and you can watch all of my vlog episodes on the online YouTube playlist. Today's B-roll involved farming, so in episode 35 my B-roll will involve cooking. See you next week.